to write anything I like, and I hope you like it too. Today I want to talk to you guys about expressing yourself. Yeah, expressing yourself. Well, before we get started, if you want to see more of my videos, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to know when I drop a brand new YouTube video, hit the post notification bell right here. Now, let's just recap from last week. So my name is Tabitha Wilson. I am a new author of No Cross, No Crown, A Journey Through Autism, Bullying, and Spiritual Warfare. This book is deep, it's emotional, it's intense, it's inspirational, it's all of those things wrapped up in one. And the really cool part is, even though this book is nonfiction, fiction readers are going to love it because this story is crazy. It's like, did this really happen? The truth is, it's a true story, and yes, it did happen. And this is my life and my children's life. And now the book is done. It will be available December 2020, just in time for Christmas. Ah! And I sing too. So I'm really excited about this book because this book is written intentionally to help someone. Now, honestly, I can't imagine that God would have me and my children to both go through this crazy journey. It was just unreal. And I can't imagine that we would have went through all of this in vain. So I know I have a very high index of suspicion that this book is meant to help so many people out in the world. And that is why I wrote it, and that is my intention. Now, the reason I want to talk about expressing yourself is because really, this book is actually just a conglomerate of expressions, and expressions of emails, and expressions of letters, journals, and actually just the recollection of thoughts. It is all put together in one neat package in this book, available for you guys and available to anybody who needs it. It's going to be a great story for you to read this fall, or rather during the winter. And you know, the bottom line is, for me, this book means a lot because writing was huge for me. During the process of going through this journey, everything happened so fast. It was like boom, 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 boom. Chaos all over the place. I didn't have time to really process anything, and I never even had time to really cry. So during the time I was writing this book, believe it or not, I could have been done probably in 3 or 4 months, but it got extended more or less because as I started writing and really allowing all that happened to sink in and just rehashing those moments, it was very overwhelming, very emotional, and I had to take a break. I mean, during certain chapters that were super emotional, I had to really just stop writing and take a break because it was overwhelming. It was so emotional, and I just needed to stop and really process it all and cry. I mean, when I say I had to stop, I don't mean stop for a couple of hours or a day. I had to sometimes stop for about a week because it was so much to take in and so much to just revisit those moments that it was overwhelming for me. And I really didn't think I was going to get through it, but I did. And I'm glad that I did. So the whole thing about writing is this. A lot of people are holding on to memories that are bad, memories that are hurtful, and a lot of people actually hold on to grudges. And the thing is, with writing, is such a nice way of just expressing yourself. And when we hold on to things like that are toxic and they build up in our system, it actually can cause other problems, like medical problems. For example, high blood pressure. Stress can induce high blood pressure. It can induce a strain on your heart. It can induce musculoskeletal pain and joint pain from all the tension of holding on to those bad memories. It could just really trigger those things. And that in itself is a strain on your body. So releasing all of that toxicity out of your system is not only good for your system, but it kind of heals you from within. Writing is actually very therapeutic, and I found that it was very helpful for me. It helped to calm me significantly. And, I think that it's a very good thing to do. So if anyone's out there today holding on to bad memories or anything like that, my suggestion to you is to do a couple things. Number one, invest in a pack of pens, okay? Pack of pens. And the second is to invest in a journal. Now, the reason you want to invest in this is because this is going to be your ticket to getting through those moments, all right? Now, this journal is a Christian journal. I like it because each page has a Bible verse in it, and you can kind of start with a, Bible verse. You can write until your heart is content, and pretty much you just write and write and write until you feel better. Some people like to write an email or a text message and just send it abruptly and not think it through. But when you write it down, wait 24 hours, then go back to it, revisit what you wrote, and see if you still feel the same way about it. Because sometimes we act out of emotions and not really from the heart. So truly, writing things down and making it plain is the best thing. And that's in Habakkuk 2:2 in the Bible. Write it down, make it plain. And that's what happened when I wrote my book. I wrote it down, I made it plain, and now it is actually a book. And I am so excited. Oh my God. So another thing about writing is this. Writing is actually good for kids and for teens, because for my daughter, for example, who went through this bullying experience that was pretty significant, I encouraged her to write a book about it. And she didn't want to write, but I felt like if she did, this would actually put her in a position where she had to revisit those thoughts, and she would kind of have to see where she was with it at this point in her life. So when she did that, she actually started crying, and she was like, "Mommy, I didn't know that I still felt this way." Because when she went back to those moments, she actually had residual thoughts of all the things that had happened to her, all of the mean things that were said to her, and those feelings started coming out on paper as she was writing. The more she would write, the more she would express, the more she would feel. And every person's pain has purpose. And the reality for her was she wasn't fully through with it. Even though she was smiling on the outside and having a great time, she was not over it, okay? So once she went back and visited these thoughts, she cried, she laughed. I mean, she was on this emotional roller coaster where she couldn't figure out if she was happy, if she was sad, because she thought about all the good things that happened and all the bad things. And that was therapeutic for her. So writing even the good things is important, because so many times we concentrate on just the bad things, and there's a lot of good things out there that have happened in our life, and you should write about it, because all the good things that happen, those are important things, and other people need to hear healing words. Put your thoughts in writing, put it on paper, and get it in a book so other people can benefit from your story. Now, I mentioned in my last video that a lot of people actually have these great and amazing stories, and they take these stories to their grave because they don't write about it. These are stories that could actually help people's lives, change their lives, do so many positive things for other people. But because they don't tell their story is untold, and it's never heard by anyone. So writing is very important because not only does it release that toxicity out of your system, but it can also help to heal you from within. And it can also help to heal other people in the world. You can write something and it can touch so many lives. You won't even know who it touched. You may never know who it touched. But the bottom line is it touches somebody. You're going to be blessed by that. So that is a blessing within itself. Now, with COVID-19 going on, there's so many issues with depression. People are sick. People are unemployed. People are losing their loved ones. This is a sad time in history. And a lot of times people don't know how to handle those emotions. They act out on anger and emotions, but if you simply just write how it's making you feel. How does it feel to be unemployed? What was your experience? What was it like? Talk to people about it, because some people never had to go through that. They actually had to be working during COVID-19. They were considered essential employees. So they didn't get that experience. So writing about that would actually explain what it was like for you to be home and not working. Or even if you have to work, what about if you don't want to go to your job? What if you have bad feelings about your job? What is it that you're feeling? Write those feelings down. Get those thoughts down on paper and make it heal you from within. And sometimes, even when you're writing, your writing will flow so much that it can actually put your whole life in perspective, and you'll kind of get an idea of where you're actually supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing with your life. Now, my mom told me a story one time about a man who had no shoes. And this man who had no shoes, all he did was complain about not having any shoes. Rightfully so, because who doesn't want shoes? But he stopped complaining when he met the man who had no feet. Now, let's think about it. We have two people, a man with no shoes, a man with no feet. Two separate people with two individual stories. Both stories are worth being heard. However, a lot of people would look at the story and say, well, the man that had no feet has to have a much better story than the man who had no shoes, because it just seems so much more traumatic. But the reality is, how can we make that judgment? How can we say that? Because we don't even know what this person who had no shoes went through. What was his story? What happened to make him get to the point where he had no shoes? So my point is, everyone has a story, and everyone's story has purpose and value. So getting that story written down in writing, on paper, so you can actually visualize it and see it for yourself, could actually put your life in perspective and could actually change your situation around to a certain degree. Writing, to me, is a coping skill that will help me to be a better person. It can help you to become a better person. So I'm really excited about writing. And I'm going to repeat the story I told you last time as well, about when I went away to Howard University. Before that, when I was younger, I wanted to be a writer. And that's all I talked about, was wanting to be a writer, until someone deterred me from that vision and that dream, because they were telling me how that's not something that I could do. It wasn't possible. I wouldn't make any money doing it. And I didn't have anything to write about. Well, guess what? I was only 7 at that time. And no, I didn't have a lot to write about. I didn't even know what I wanted to write about. But during this journey, God gave me something to write about. Matter of fact, he gave me so many things to write about that my head, my heart is full of books. And I cannot wait to finally get all of those writings and things I have on my mind in a book, so that I can share all of my thoughts to the world. So today's vlog is basically just telling you to think about it. Write about your life. Write about your story. Write about the things that are important to you, the things that make you sad, the things that make you happy. Write about your children. Every person has a story. And the only way you will ever be free, really truly free, is writing and getting your thoughts out open and having a clear mind about your life and putting everything in perspective. Even if you don't publish a book, just writing in general is a very therapeutic process. It will help you to actually work through a lot of the things in your life. So I'm really excited about writing. I can't wait to get more books to you guys, but I'm more excited right now about my brand new book, No Cross, No Crown, A Journey Through Autism, Bullying, and Spiritual Warfare. This book is going to just be hot. And I'm so excited that it's going to be out just before Christmas. So you'll have a great stocking stuffer for your family, your friends, or anybody who you feel will benefit from this book. And I believe everyone can benefit from this book. Thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate your time and your energy. I'm going to keep you posted on this book. I'm going to also keep you posted on my blog, which will be coming out tomorrow. And the website will be in the description box down below. Please take the time, if you haven't yet, to see my first video, which is my first experience on YouTube. And I'm so excited because this has really been an exciting journey for me. And I'm so happy to share my experience with all of you. So until next time, guys.